Okay, here we are. The activity that we're going to be working on is for the spotlight. In the spotlight, so under the website, you go over here to Photoshop, go down to Spotlight. It pulls up the page that you see here. You get some information here. You can see the objective of the assignment. But what we're going to be doing right now is creating this practice activity that you see right here of Abraham Lincoln and some information about him. So the first thing you need to do is you need to open up Photoshop. Okay, so here's our Photoshop file. I've already opened it up, and we're going to need to start a new file. So you're going to go File, New, Blank File. And when you get under here, you're going to hit under this preset area, you're going to go down to Photo, and you're going to go here to Landscape, and you're going to change it to Landscape 5x7. You need to make sure that this background contents is on transparent as well. Then you hit OK, and here's the starting point of the assignment. Okay. Alright, so next we need a couple pictures. So let's look. We're going to need a picture of Abraham Lincoln, and we're going to need this American Eagle that you see down here as well. So let's go to Google. Okay, we're going to go to Google here, and I've already went to Google, and we're going to type in Abraham Lincoln, and we're going to make sure we're in Images, and it's going to pull up all these images of Abraham Lincoln. Now the one I selected was this one here. You can select another one if you'd like, but it's got to be in black and white. So if you click on it and then you right click it, you can save the image. Okay. You can pick any image you want of Abraham Lincoln, but make sure it's black and white. Now next, you're going to do the same thing in Google. You're going to do a search for an American Eagle. You're going to hit Images, and the one we're going to use is this one right here. So you click it, right click, save image, call it what you want. I've already saved it. So once again, it's this American Eagle that you see right here. That's the one that you have to use. Abraham Lincoln, you can use any image you want, but for the Eagle, it has to be this one. Alright, next, we're in our, back to Photoshop. We have our file started. So we're going to open up the pictures of Lincoln and of the American Eagle. Okay, so there we have it. We have our pictures. We have our original starting document. So we're going to take this Abraham Lincoln, and we are going to drag him into our document that we started. Okay, so you can click and drag, and this may pop up. If it does, hit OK. And once it does it, just click it, drag it, drop it on the document here. And you can see by the, let's close this, we're done with this, we're done with this. You can see by the picture here on the website, Abraham Lincoln's going to take up about half of the picture, you know, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. I'll let you guys decide how much you think. So we're going to take Abraham Lincoln. Here's my ruler up here. We are 7 inches wide. Right now it's at 4.5 inches. That's too much. So we're going to shrink it up a little bit here. Okay, you can resize it so that's about 3, and I'm going to make it anywhere from 3.5 to 4 inches, so about 3.75 for me. And I got to make sure the background's not showing. So there's our Abraham Lincoln. Okay, if you don't have this ruler up here and you want to use it because it helps, all you have to do is go to View, click on the rulers, and it pops up. Okay, so alright, so here we are. Here's Abe Lincoln, and now we are going to go ahead and take this American Eagle and put it on here as well. So we have our American Eagle. Now we don't want any of this white area around the edge, so we're going to get rid of it. Now in your tools, if you go over here to the eraser tool, you click it and you hold down, this magic eraser tool pops up. Okay, so you select that one, and then you go over here to your eagle and you click on anywhere on the white outside the eagle, and you'll notice it erases everything around the eagle so that all that white box is gone. Alright, come back and click on the move tool again. We're going to drag our eagle and drop it in our document that we're using. You're going to move the eagle down here to the bottom somewhere. Resize it, make it smaller. And when you're happy with the size, you hit OK. Hit this check mark. Alright, so next, you need a box over here on the side. A white box with this red stroke around the edge. So we're going to come over here. You're going to find this tool right here. Okay, and yours may be on something else. If it is, click it, hold it down, select the rectangle tool. Alright, so right now if I was to draw a box, because this is the color on the top, it would be yellow. Now I want it to be white. So I'm going to switch, click these arrows. It pulls up my white box to the top. If you don't have a white box, click it, select white, hit OK. Okay, we want the white to be on top, so we're drawing a white box. Come over to your picture, click, drag, kind of fill it up right here. You can always change it up. Alright, so there's our box that we're going to draw, and if you're not happy with it, you can select the move tool and resize it to whatever size you like. Now, but I want to add a stroke to this, okay? So you want to have that red outline. Okay, white box, red outline. So I'm going to go up here to Layer, Layer Style, Style Settings, click on the stroke. We want to be red, so we'll click here. Boom. And then you can drag this over to change how much you want. I'll let you decide how much to put. But you need to have some kind of red stroke around the edge of it. Hit OK. Alright, now we need to move it so that it sits right on the edge right here. We don't want any background showing. So I'm going to resize it a little bit. You can drag it with your mouse, or you can use the arrows keys. You can also use the arrow keys to make small adjustments. Okay, so you can see sometimes that's easier. You can still see a little bit at the bottom though, but if I drag it, it moves too much, and my arrows aren't quite adjusting it like I want. So here's what I'm going to do. Okay, hit that check mark. Alright, we are going to zoom in on the bottom here, because when you have it zoomed in, it's easier to make small movements, small adjustments. So we're going to go to the magnifying glass, click on the plus, zoom in on the bottom here, go back to our move tool. Now we can move it just a little bit. We're going to check the other edges while we're here. So see in the corner right here, a little bit, so there we go. Let's check the top, got a minor adjustment there, and it looks like there's no background showing, and the red is right up against the edge on everything. So that's how we want it. So I'm going to click the check. Now I'm going to zoom out with my magnifying glass with the negative. Alright, so there we have it. Okay, and once again, if you're not happy with it, you can make minor adjustments with your arrows. You'll notice my eagle though is behind my box, and that's not cool. You can only see half of it. So over here on the side where you have all your layers, you can see that the shape is on top, so it's sitting on top of our eagle right here. So all we're going to have to do is just pull this shape down below our eagle, and now our eagle is visible. Alright, so that's how we need. So what we need right now, we have our Abraham Lincoln picture, we have our eagle, we have our white box, and for now that's all we need. Alright, next step. We're going to add "In God We Trust" with this little thing around it also. Alright, so we're going to go back to our Photoshop here. We're going to click on Text tool over here, this text. Alright. And then when we get here, we're going to go up here to the top, and I am going to change the font to this Show Card Gothic. Alright, then I'm going to change the size right here to about 14. Okay, what color did we use? Let's take a look. So it needs to be red with a stroke around the edge of blue. So you want to change this color to, we want it to be the same red we used around here. So instead of selecting a red on here, we're just going to come out here with the eyedropper and click on that red, and it pops up the exact red. We're going to hit OK. Alright, and then last thing is right here, we want this to have center text. Alright, so we've changed everything. We have our font, size, color, center. Click on the screen. We'll say in God, and then you're going to hit enter on your keyboard. Don't hit it by your all the numbers. Hit the one on the keyboard. It drops down below. In God we trust. Okay, back to our move tool. Now we can move it anywhere we want. We can resize it if we want to make it as big or as small as we want. I'm going to leave it about that size there. Hit our check mark. We're going to go up here to layer to add that blue stroke around the edge. So layer, layer style. Your stroke. We're going to click over here to make this blue. Pick a blue that you would like to use. Okay, there we have it. Hit OK. And now you can see in God we trust. There it is. Now we need to add that little frame around the edge. So let's pay attention here. Let me show you how to do that. So down here where the rectangle is at, you're going to click it and hold it. Alright, you're going to go to custom shape. Now when this pops up, you're going to go up here on the top where it says it has the shape. You're going to click it. You're going to find, let's see what we're looking for here. Well, it's not there. Let's take another look. Let's see. This is frames. This is what we're looking for. So let's see. Oh, here it is over here. Okay, this frame right here. Frame 19. You're going to click it. Okay, and then over here, you're going to draw this frame. You're going to drag it and draw it around In God We Trust. Now because we had this as red down here or red up here, it's automatically going to be red. And that's what we want it to be. If yours, and you're going to check in the layer style settings, make sure there's no stroke here also. Okay, you don't want a stroke on there right now. Alright, so here we have it. You could adjust it if you have to. Make it the size you want. Alright, but we want to erase the bottom and the top parts here. So you're going to come over here to your tools. You're going to click on your eraser and hold it down. Make sure you have the eraser tool. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to make my eraser a little smaller with my brackets on my keyboard. I'm going to go up here and you're just going to, if this pops up, just say OK. You're going to erase the bottom part a little bit, leave a little bit coming out over here on the side, and the top part, leave a little bit coming out on the side. There we go. That looks good. So I'm going to hit my move tool. Now up here at the top, I'm going to go layer, layer style, style settings, and add a little stroke around it, the same color blue that we did around In God We Trust. Okay, see if I can get my eyedropper on here. It's going to be hard. Nope. Okay, you can always zoom. There we go. That's the same blue that we had. Hit OK. You can change it if you want, make it thicker or less thick. Hit OK. There we have it. A little bracket around there. If you want to adjust it a little bit, you can. Make sure you click on the bracket though. There we go. Use your arrows. You can move it around, make it bigger, smaller. Okay, In God We Trust. Now we're gonna merge these two together to make them one file, one little document on there. So here's our shape tool. Here's our In God We Trust. You're gonna hold down Control and select both of them. Then you're gonna go back up here to Layer, go to Merge Layers, and now they are one. So that when I resize this thing, it resizes everything, or when I move it, it moves both of them. So there we have our In God We Trust. All right, next you are going to add all this information here. Okay, so we're going to do Abe Lincoln first. Okay, you've used text before, so you should have an idea what to do. Text tool. You want it to be blue though. We're going to have it blue with a red outline. Still in show card. So we're going to change this to blue. Let's see if we can get lucky and hit the blue over here with our eyedropper. There we go. Okay, now we're going to click right here. We're going to type Abe Lincoln, and it should be on center right here also. Okay. I'm going to drag it over here. You can resize it to whatever size you think is appropriate. And one of the things we did not do that we forgot is you want to have it underlined. Okay, underline it, and then you're going to add a red stroke around it. So we're going to go layer style, style settings, hit that stroke, box, and there we go. Okay, and we have our Abe Lincoln. Now you want to make sure it's centered in this white box, and there's an easy way to do that because you can eyeball it, but it's not always perfect. So if you have Abe Lincoln selected over here in the layer, you find the shape, the white shape that we're sitting it in, and you hit Control and select both of them, and then you go up here to Align Horizontal Centers. It centers it up for you. All right. Next step, you're going to add this adjective about him. He was a patriotic American in red with a blue stroke. So text tool, click over here, add a little dash, and then patriotic American. There it is. You don't want this one underlined, so you can take that underline off. You got to highlight it though. Okay, we got to make it red. Eyedropper on the red. Okay. Boom. Move it over here underneath. Add a blue stroke to it. A lot of the stuff you've done already, so I'm going to not going to spend a whole lot of time explaining it again because you've already done it. Eyedropper blue. Hit OK. Let's see. Let's drag this over. Alright, hit OK. And with our Abe Lincoln selected, with our patriotic American and our shape, you can do your horizontal centers again. It looks like it's centered already, but I do want to move it up a little bit. Okay. Alright, last thing. We got to do some more text. So you're going to do this thing right here. Abraham Lincoln was born in Kentucky on February 12th, 1809. Okay, we're going to put that on there. Now here's the thing. You're going to hit this text. What color was it? Just red? There's no stroke on this one, just red. So you're going to click in here. You're going to try to type in Abraham. Oh yes, I almost forgot. We're no longer centering it. We're going to change this up here top to left align. So Abraham Lincoln. What was it again? Let's take a look. Was born in Kentucky on February 12th, 1809. Was born in, it's a little too big, so I'm going to go ahead and actually make it a little smaller. By using my move tool, I'll move it over, make it a little smaller. Okay, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. If I go too fast, pause things. Okay. Alright, Abraham Lincoln was born in Kentucky on, double click back in there, okay, in Kentucky on, now we get to the end over here, you hit enter on your keyboard, but not the enter by your numbers on your numeric keypad, okay, the one by all the letters, on, was it February, let's see, let's double check. Was born in Kentucky on February 12th. 1809, period. All right, now you can move that around if you need to. Okay, you can use your arrows to kind of move it around. All right, you can resize a little bit if you want to. But we want the next one to be the same size as this one. So we're going to right click on the layer over here that we just created, and we're just going to duplicate it. Okay, hit OK. It puts two of them over here. They're just sitting on top of one another, and we're going to drag this one down. Okay. Whoops. And now what you're going to do is you're going to type, he was the 16th president of the United States, serving from 1861, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Your job, you have to type each one of these. Okay. Now you're going to type in, you can see the spaces here. So you're going to type one in, type this in, duplicate it. Type this in, duplicate it. Type this in, duplicate it, and finally type this one at the bottom. But you need all this information about Abraham Lincoln typed onto yours as well. And you need to try to keep everything the same size. And then to make sure it's lined up correctly along the left-hand side on this one, what you'll do is, so if it's like this, you'll select both layers over here. I didn't type all the info in, but you need to. You go to Align, and you go to Left Edges, and you can see it moves it over and lines it up for you. So I am not going to type in all the information, but you need to. And you're going to turn this into me for a grade. All right, and once you're done, it should look like what you see here. It should look just like this. All right, so if you have any questions, you can ask. But when you send this to me, this is what it needs to look like. Make sure you type in all this info that you see on here. You can go to the class website and just go down and see what info that is. Make sure you're going to the edge and hitting enter to go down to the next line. But at the big white spaces, you need to start a new text there by duplicating the layer. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to help. When you're finished with it, you need to load this, save it as when you finish everything, okay? You go here and you go File, Save As. Make sure you save it as a JPEG when you're done. If you don't finish, you keep it as a Photoshop file until you finish, and then you make it a JPEG. Alright, I'm not going to save it, but you save it as a JPEG, and then you need to load it into your Google Docs, and then you need to share it with me in Google Docs to show that you've completed the assignment. Good luck.